Hi, good afternoon. I'm Cheryl from Orb Coaching. I offer three primary coaching services: business, life, and professional business English. I've come outside again today to do another case study video. I may have to put my sunglasses on and off during intervals because it's a bit difficult to look at the screen. Again, like previous videos, I haven't scripted anything. I'm not going to edit anything. I'm doing it on the fly, as some of you might know of that term. And I've made this time just the odd note so that I can keep on track myself. So today I'm going to talk about a business case study, so business coaching case study. So I've just noticed that there's the tree coming out of my head, but it's okay. I'm going to stay here. Business coaching session. This is a client whom I've been coaching for a few months now. Every time we reach the goals that he set and the targets that he wants to reach, we establish a new set of goals and we continue on this path. It's very organic, it's very professional, it's highly beneficial to the client, and he really reaps the benefits and also the tangible results that he is specifically after through these sessions. So we had a session, another interesting session last week. I think, yes, last week. And it took about 40 minutes through powerful coaching questions, active listening, patience, observing the client's physiology, and also all of his pauses, etc. So after these 40 minutes, I managed to piece together this massive jigsaw puzzle that he was throwing at me, and there was just bits of information from all different directions flying around. Obviously I kept bringing him back centered as and when I could, but he kept going off again. So it took me 40 minutes to really understand where he was coming from, and at this point I said, okay, we need to take a check at this moment, and I'd like to summarize for you to make sure that I really have understood where you are at this moment. To which he said, yes, of course. During my summarization, he suddenly stopped me. He went, oh my goodness. I said, yes, everything okay? He said, I need to get out of my comfort zone. I was smiling, he was smiling, and I said, would you like to continue? And he went, and I let him sit there with that moment, because for my client, that specific time was a real aha moment for him. So I gave him his time, and then I asked him, I said, may I give you some observations that I've recognized relating to your thought process? And he said, yes, please. I said, this isn't the first time that I've recognized this going on in a session where it takes some time for us to get to the bottom of the situation at that moment. He apologized. I said, there's no need to apologize. This is why we are here. And I said, may I continue? He said, yes, of course. I said, so you've reached your aha moment, which is to get out of your comfort zone. Is that correct? He said, yes. I said, okay. Now, if we move on to your thought process, what I've recognized is that you get into this paralysis analysis stage. That paralysis analysis stage allows you to procrastinate, and through that procrastination you are able to remain in your comfort zone. He smiled. I said, what do you think about my feedback? He said, yes, you are right. And he sat, I let him sit with that for a moment, and And we carried on. I said, and I wrote the next part down. And I said, where are your thoughts at the moment with the feedback that I've also given you and the revelation that you've had yourself? And his um, remark was, if I don't leave my comfort zone will soon leave me. That was a subsequent aha moment leading on from the first one in this session. And I dug a little deeper. So I kept digging and asking more questions because he was receptive to receiving more questions at this time. If he wasn't, I would have closed off the session at that point. However, he was really receptive and wanted me to dig deeper as well. He apologized. I said, absolutely no need for apology. This is why we're having these professional coaching sessions. And with his permission, I continued asking some more questions. And he came to another realization whilst I was asking these questions. I said, and I asked him, what are you thinking about now? He said, I have to get out of my comfort zone, but there's a lot of other elements. So it's a very complex situation. So for the sake of this video and confidentiality, I can't go into too much detail here, but I can give you an idea of how things go in a session and how things go for a client. Anyway, we came back, and at the end of the day, there are a lot of internal politics that need to be maneuvered around, respected, understood, and not to be ignored. So as he realized that he needs to be aware of the internal politics, which previously he could comfortably ignore because he was within his comfort zone and was quite happy with his growth up to that point. But now I'm stretching the client even further. I'm stretching him more in our coaching conversations. I'm stretching him more with regards to his goals and his targets and what he's able to achieve, because he has the potential to do so. We've been working together for a few months and I know him very well at this point. So through this constant stretching in every session that we're having, more is coming out. I explained this to him, to which he was really happy to get some constructive feedback, as we always do. But it's getting more technical as we move along as well. And I also asked him, I said, okay, so if I've understood you correctly, you had been up until today occasionally going through a process of paralysis analysis, because you subconsciously also know that that allows you to procrastinate and that allows you to stay in your comfort zone. Is that correct? He said, yes, absolutely. I said, now through these sessions and being stretched and knowing now that you have to come out of your comfort zone, you have come to the realization that there are internal politics at play which you can no longer afford to ignore. Is that correct? He said, yes, absolutely. Then he told me it's not easy. I said, of course it's not easy. We're in the session coming to these realizations, but to put these things into practice is there's another story, which is why we have follow-up coaching sessions to make sure that you're able to stay on path in the right direction and seek the resources within the organization that you're working in to achieve your next growth level. So yes, at this point, I asked him. So he was doing a lot of talking, okay, but I can't give the that side of the case study. I have to protect my client. And I said, okay, so now that you've established as well that there's an internal political game at play, my next question would be for you to ask yourself, how long are you willing to play this game for? When And he paused and he went, "That is a really good question. I'm going to have to think about that." I said, "Of course. That's not a question that you can always give an immediate answer to, because there's a lot of levels of complexities behind it as well, which you need to see what works best for you." Um, then I said, "Would you be happy?" So we were reaching the 60-minute close off point. I said, "Would you be happy that we sort of summarize and close off this session now?" He said, "Yes, absolutely." And I asked him what was his main takeaway of today's session. I wrote this bit down. He wrote, "Thank you so very much. Honestly, you have helped me understand, take a look at the problems from a different point of view. And yes, this weekend I'm going to go off somewhere near the sea, have a coffee, and think about it." So he came up with a suggestion for himself as well, to go and give himself the time that's needed to think about this. I said, "That's absolutely excellent. Well done." Not in a patronizing way, okay? I mean, everything's very authentic and very sincere. Um, and we wrapped it up. This was within 60 minutes. He had told me that since our session at the beginning of the week, he had spent hours and hours and hours thinking about this, ruminating. I said, "Yes, of course, but now you know about the paralysis analysis." He says, "Yes, that's in my mind now and I can't avoid it." I said, "Of course, because we've aired it together. You've said it to someone else who's a professional as well, and you're going to have to take some accountability for that." And he was like, "Yes." So it was a very, very successful coaching session. This client's growth um, and ability to be able to be continue to be stretched, to continue to reach further growth levels and potentiality are huge, um, and very, very interesting. He's doing really, really well, and he's on the path where he wants to be on as well, and I am facilitating it. So that sort of wraps up today's business coast study, case study. Sorry, the sun is getting to me now. I hope that you got some insight into the benefits of coaching sessions, how a coaching session could possibly look like. Of course, I'm skirting around things because I can't film it, I can't video the actual conversation or the sessions, but I'm trying to give you some form of insight and also knowledge of the coaching approach that I take in different situations, with different coaching services that I offer and different clients. It's all very different. There's no one rule or one system fits all, and every single coaching session takes on a whole new dynamic of its own. So this is why it's important as well that when you seek professional guidance and support and help, that you are getting the right person that is able to offer that and who is really well equipped to do it. So on that note, I wish you all a wonderful day. Apologize for my squinting. I really tried to keep the sunglasses off so that I could connect with you a bit better than having these shades on. And I also wanted to come outside because I think first of all, it makes more of an interesting backdrop, and secondly, I've had clients all morning and I need to get myself back out in nature, because that's what grounds me and centers me and allows me to be well prepared for my next set of clients this afternoon. So please take care of yourselves out there. I'm fully aware of everything that's going on around the world. I have clients from all corners of the globe and also locally, but also try to stay on your growth path and your direction so that you can sustain the life that you would like within your control and what you have available to yourself. So take care of yourselves out there, look after yourselves, and ciao. Bye.